Welcome into the first episode of the Between the Lines podcast. Formerly was live on air, but now in a podcast format.
I think I'm gonna like this a little bit better.
I think I'm gonna like this one a little bit better too. You see our faces. We could do a lot more. We have interviewed people before, and you just hear the voices.
Right, but this time you get to see the faces and you get to feel the emotions.
Yes.
So I think that's a great different aspect of this podcast so far.
If you do hear creaks, try to cut that out, but people are upstairs. We're at the radio station here. So thank you so much to FM 89 for allowing us to do this. Thank you so much to WONC Sports and all that to let us be able to create this for you guys.
So who are we?
So who are we, Myron? I don't know. Do you know who I am?
I do. I don't think they know who you are, though.
I'm Jake Salisbury, and I'm a fifth year here at North Central College. I played baseball here for 4 years. Don't look at my stats because I probably have one appearance and that's it. It was good. It was a good 4 years. It was a good run. But I am now part of the radio station here. I've been part of it for about 3 or 4 years. Ever since right before COVID, pretty much. That's when I joined the radio station. Then whole COVID happened, everything, and we couldn't be here. And then your football season was canceled, freshman year.
It's tough.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one. But been here for about 3 or 4 years. Been making this show for about 3 years now, going on 3 years. It was live on air. It was the first sports morning show here at FM 89, and now here it is the first ever video podcast, and so we get to be part of a couple of the first here. I'm also the assistant sports director here at the radio station, so kind of a little fun thing to do, I guess. But yeah, that's a little bit about me, Myron. But what about you?
So everybody, I'm Myron Lewis, here currently a junior. I am a part of the radio station as well. I am assistant director of student involvement. So I would love to get you all involved with the radio station as best as possible so you all can reach out and reach us to possibly get different feedback. I also am the vice president of student affairs for the Student Government Association. And I am a two-sport athlete as well, with participating in track and field. I'm a thrower. And I also play football here, as you mentioned before. We did lose a season to COVID, and this past year we ended up not doing so well on December 17th, and December 17th was the national championship game. But
all the way up to December 16th, though.
Hey, we were doing well. But if you all want to look into that, you can just Google North Central Stag Ball, and then you will get the rest of the history. But this upcoming week, we've just started our new season, and after week 2 of the college football season, but week 1 for us, we finished this first game 1-0.
Let's go.
Defeating Wabash College 56-12, which is an astounding accomplishment for this team because we avenged the alums from 2011 who lost to Wabash College in the second round, and we continue to dominate from 2019 when they beat them in the first round of the playoffs. So this was a great team victory for us.
Yeah, it was a good team victory. I was down there. I was calling the game with Sam Corbett, and it was dominating the first quarter, 21-0. Then the second quarter got a little lackadaisical. A lot of penalties.
Backyard football.
A lot of penalties. I know you want to say backyard football.
I'm gonna call it for what it is.
Yeah, Wabash had to. Pretty much the only way they score was to get a trick play a couple times, and they ended up scoring. But you guys penalized a lot of penalties. 10 total on the game.
It's the first game.
9 in the first half. Yeah, it was the first game.
It happens to the best of the teams. That has been noticeably the trend over the first 2 weeks of college football. It's a lot of sloppy football going on. So you see those penalties, and I think that as a team, we're going to learn from them, and we're not going to try to repeat those going on the following weeks.
So your defensive tackle, Myron, let us know, what was the defensive game plan going into the game? Because Wabash is very no-huddle offense, very go, go, go. They had almost over 600 yards, I think, total offense week 1. And then they come to you guys, and it just was the complete opposite.
It starts with being physical. You dominate the line of scrimmage. The team across from you doesn't want to play 4 quarters of football. And the only time I think we didn't dominate the line of scrimmage was probably the second quarter, besides the penalties shooting us in our foot. And I just think that if you take the head off a snake, it has nowhere to go. It has no sense of urgency anymore. And I think we did that by dominating up front. And it started with those fifth-year guys, Dan Gilroy, Tyler Rich, Brandon Greifeld, along with Danny Lester. Those guys set the tone, and it was just a dominant performance all the way through, besides the second quarter. But other than that, that's how you continue to win football games, is being dominant up in the trenches.
Yeah, I was say they could not have any sort of running attack at all. It was all the way until about halfway through the second quarter. I gave a little broadcast curse. I apologize. I pretty much said they can't run the ball at all. And then the next play was about a 10-yard, 15-yard run. And it was, I believe it was a sweep to like the right side or left side, and went up for about 15 yards. But that was about it. They had like 25 yards rushing throughout the entirety of the first half. It was a ridiculous defensive stand. You're looking at, what could be number one best offense and number one best defense. I know we broke the record, school record.
And rushing for a rushing yards allowed. Mm-hmm. I don't know the specific number, but I think it was somewhere in the 60s. We averaged like giving up 60 yards a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a great accomplishment. The goal this year is to break that again. So, we're going to see and continue to work and be the best defensive line and defensive unit, offensive unit we can be.
Yeah, offensively, I mean, you look at Luke Landon, 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Ethan Greenfield, 132 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. You look at Luke Landon, by the way, 22 yards on the ground, dual threat quarterback. D'Angelo Hardy, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, as well as 12-yard carry for a touchdown as well. I mean,
he also, I don't know if you've seen it, he also goes and say he wants to get a throwing touchdown in there somehow someday. So hopefully D'Angelo does get that opportunity to throw a touchdown. No, nothing against Luke, but I would definitely like to see him throw a touchdown.
I would love to see D'Lo throw a touchdown and have him in one game, maybe against North Park, put up 80 points last year. Having one game of a rushing, receiving, and a passing touchdown, I think that would be insane. You guys now, going into this year, have a new coaching sort of, I guess, I can't even say regime because it's almost the same coaches.
It's literally the same coaching staff besides Coach Thorne. Coach Thorne's the only guy that left. Everybody else stayed, and we hired within. Coach Spencer has done a great job since becoming our head coach. It's literally nothing has changed for the most part.
Okay.
But Coach Spencer has put his own twist and turns on the way that we do things now. So
you can give a little insight in that?
I can't do that.
Okay.
You have to be a part of the program. And,
I tried.
Coach Spencer is a great guy. He has a lot of swag. So he
seems like he's got a lot of swag. I've met him before. He seems like a cool guy. I saw him on the sidelines. He was a little drippy.
He dripped out. Coach got the drip.
Oh man, he's been a part of this program too for a while. He's been under both Thorns, and so he's kind of understand what that.
He's been here since
what
he was
it
a
takes.
child.
Yes,
because his if I'm not mistaken, his grandfather went here, his uncle, his dad, like his entire family has went to North Central.
He's bleeding North Central Cardinal.
Yes, he bleeds Cardinal Red.
Cardinal Red. He bleeds Cardinal Red. Let's move on to next week, Carthage.
They're a great opponent. We can't look over at anybody. I understand that they lost last week.
Okay, don't get me. Come on.
But at the end of the day, we have to take it 1 week at a time.
Okay.
We still have to prep like they're the best team in the country,
Yep.
even though that we're ranked number 1 now. But we're gonna still practice, and game plan as if we were the underdogs in this game. So I just know that our coaches are gonna continue to get us ready and prepared to play a great football team.
Yeah, you guys. We were talking earlier a little bit. You had a great quote. Now I completely lost it. Completely sidetracked it. You're away for 2 games.
Oh, I do remember the quote now.
How does it feel not to have a home game until week number 3? Is that something that really kind of goes into the preparation or,
not really. We go into any place and make it our home. So we go anywhere and turn their home field into our home field because we realize that home field advantage is big, especially when it comes to the playoffs. But during the regular season, if you can take the home crowd of a home team away, it's your place now.
Yes, that's very true. And even though Wabash last week, I think gave you guys 3 rows of seats. I think it was, and on your sideline. It was like 3 rows and then 2
It
sections.
had
of them.
bleachers. There was like 2
They were
bleachers over
but
there.
it was like nothing
It was
compared
disrespectful,
to.
but it's okay.
It's okay. You guys put up 56 points, and all those Wabash kids went back to tailgating behind the scenes. By the way, great shout out to Wabash. It was great press box, great everything there. But again, we just had to give you an L for a little bit. Let's move on to other things going on here at North Central. If you don't know, and I know that we already skimmed past this a little bit, we've had this show live on air now for a while, and now we're moving it to a podcast format. But every time we start the podcast, we always start off with one thing and one thing only. It is North Central sports. We bleed Cardinal red here, and we talk about Cardinals every single time around this podcast, and we got to try to shout out every sport we can.
Definitely.
That should be the goal, because I know not live on air, we didn't really...
We tried to. It was hard. You understand? We have a time limit. We had a time limit. I mean, now having a podcast, we can talk a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I think the 3 teams that we're going to bring up right now, they're doing absolutely well for themselves. Men's soccer is undefeated. Women's soccer is undefeated. And women's volleyball is undefeated. It is outstanding here playing in North Central. All 3 of these teams are dominating in their respective sports, and I hope that they continue to do that each and every week.
Yeah, you look at even Coach Matthew, baseball coach here, kind of tweeted it out. He was, it was on the Danny Nuccio interception.
68-yard interception?
68-yard interception.
I wish he would have returned it to the touchdown.
7th longest in program history. If it wasn't for, I believe that's the running back, that was in the flat on the opposite side, ran all the way across field and tackled.
He cared about his teammates.
Yeah, he cared about his teammates. But Coach Matthew tweeted out, we know that guy at NCC baseball because that he plays baseball there. He's a 2-sport athlete. First baseball game, at bat, pinch hit, home run. First game for North Central football, almost took an interception to the house.
4 picks.
He makes his name for himself. He was close. Hopefully, maybe one day we can get him on the podcast.
Definitely. We'll look into it. We'll see how our timing goes. But we hopefully do have a special guest for you all next week.
Yes.
So I hope you all tune in for our special guest.
We're going to try to have a special guest on every single week that we can. There will be some weeks where it's just myself and Myron the first episode. Like today. But then he goes on to say, Matthew goes on to say, here we go again with NCC athletics, teams in the national rankings, # something in the air. There is something in the air. You talk about, like you said, men's soccer,
Undefeated.
3 and undefeated. Women's soccer, undefeated. Women's volleyball, undefeated. You go on to this sort of trend here that starts pretty much with you guys. Every year starts with you guys.
I mean, I'm not gonna say we're here to set the standard, but I also think that these other programs do feed off the energy of the football program, because if you think about it, if you go to a lot of different schools, who's the biggest sport that these teams recruit and have their players they're recruiting come watch? Football. So a lot of these players are coming here because we have a good football program that's constantly competing year in, year out. So this is allowing these coaching staffs to continue to get the best players they can. And what Coach Matthew say, there's something brewing in the air here. And so if you want to continue to come play high-level college sports, North Central is the place to be.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a whole recruiting pitch while we're on here if you're listening.
Hey, gotta get it in there somehow. So I hope you all are listening.
We'll start off with the women's volleyball. Women's volleyball is facing Lake Forest College this upcoming Tuesday, tomorrow night. Sadly, can't make it there. Tuesdays and Thursdays
Lake Forest
they play.
is currently 2-6 after
2-6.
losing the last 3 games, and only putting up 1 set out of 9 they've played.
Easy
Actually,
dub.
10 because they won a set, so they had to go to extra. So they're 1-9 in 10 sets. So this volleyball team should be able to dominate. So I'm looking forward to see how that game turns out.
This podcast will come out on Wednesday, so we don't know the actual outcome of it yet. So hopefully what we're saying right now is a dub. Then they go into the Whitewater tournament after that, and they're facing the number 9 seed Whitewater down the road. 3 games from now, at least 4 games technically from now. Going undefeated into that Whitewater game is probably the goal. Would not be?
I definitely believe so.
You got to be undefeated going into that game to understand that you're facing a top 10 opponent, and if you're undefeated, you give them a run for your money, and you're looking at potential chances the CCIW sort of sort of I would say, run, try to go and do something that the men's have done for the past couple of years and win that conference and go win that and go be nationally ranked. Moving over to women's soccer. Women's soccer, again, undefeated, 4-0-1. Their one tie was a 0-0 draw to Dominican University back on September 7th. And now, after playing
the number 14th ranked team in Century, is that how you say that?
Central.
They're just
no center. That's 100% center.
CNT.
You let us know in the comments. It's going to be somewhere around here. All right, let us know.
Yeah, I'm definitely pronouncing that totally
something
wrong.
That you'll probably catch on. Names, we'll work on.
We're working on that. But this soccer team here dominated 4-1, and we're not even ranked.
That's also
it's crazy.
Come on,
we have ladies like El Sutter, Morgan Van Burden, if I'm saying her last name correctly. Verbeeten, it may be Verbeeten. I think it is. They have dominated. They both had a goal in this game, putting us up 4-1. Now they head on to play the number 3 team in the country, Loras College, on 9/14. So I'm hoping they continue their dominance. And if you beat 2 teams ranked ahead of you, they should get some ranking.
I mean, if you beat the number 3 team in the nation and you're not ranked after that, what are we doing?
We need to have some conversations with the people doing the rankings in the soccer world, because that's not okay.
You need to rank these girls. No matter,
I think so.
Even if they lose, let's say they lose by 1 goal, but they lose to 1 goal to the number 3 team in the nation.
That's a good stat.
Throw them in the rankings.
Look at college football. Texas loses by 1, unranked, turns around and be top 25 and being ranked at 22.
Yep.
So it can happen.
It can happen. It should happen. It should happen. But we're expecting a dub. They're going there at Loras. So probably the game plan would be win early, shoot early, get a goal early, and then figure out a way to, keep on the pressure.
Yeah, you gotta give this team some opportunities to realize that this is going to be a dogfight. Like, we're going to make you sweat. It's either you're going to come with your best day or you're not going to win. So I think that is the mentality of this team, knowing that if you put their backs against the wall, how bad do they want to not be against the wall? So,
yeah, kind of almost that football mentality a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think you should take that into any sport,
Oh, 100%.
Moving on to men's soccer, who's coming off back-to-back ties with Concordia University, Wisconsin, 1-1, and Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, tied 1-1 as well. And this Wednesday, they play Lake Forest College. Mm-hmm. So they're still undefeated. 2 ties means absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They were 18-2-1 last year, by the way. They were on a ridiculous streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14-0. Myra's trying to count
and figure it out. That's a lot of games.
14-0 before their first loss. Well, 14-0-1, but then they got their first loss, right? Can they do it again?
It's possible. But every year teams are different. So I think this team is a little bit different than last year. So we're going to see what their mentality is after this upcoming week and see how things go for them. I think they can do it again, but it's not promised.
Not promised?
It's not promised. Nothing in life is promised.
They're facing Lake Forest College, which ironically is also facing our women's volleyball team on Tuesday. But now they're facing their men's soccer team on Wednesday. So again, Wednesday has women's soccer at Loras, men's soccer at home. I mean, a flurry of W's that day would be great.
I would love to see it.
But we're for sure counting a W for this men's soccer team. Sid Marquardt in the net is absolutely an animal, absolutely a dog. He went on a streak for so long of not giving up a goal in, I believe it was in regulation time or before extra minutes. He did not give up a goal for the longest time. And so this team's going to, probably win the CCIW again.
I hope I definitely agree with you. They can definitely win the CCIW again. Like, it's hard, especially in soccer, because the way it's set up with their tournament, it's a little different than a lot of the other tournaments. So it's definitely going to be a great, interesting to continue to see this soccer team, this both soccer men and women and volleyball team continue to dominate. So we're going to definitely keep you updated with those in our next podcast for sure, and like go over the last week and how teams did.
Yeah, we'll go over the last weeks, but that was pretty much the North Central Sports, the North Central Corner. We always call it the North Central Corner. But before we go there, you hinted at a potential guest.
A potential guest. Should we give it to him this early? He did confirm it last time.
He confirmed it.
So, all right.
But
do we? We're not going to give it to you. We're going to leave you in suspense here.
Go check out our Twitter. Go check out our Twitter. Go check out our TikTok, our social media pages. Again, we're trying to figure out if we want to do
an Instagram. So if you
do an Instagram,
think we should do an Instagram, definitely comment on our social media pages. Either Twitter or TikTok. TikTok is going to be the interesting one. I think you all are going to like. We're going to be a lot of the, bloopers behind the scenes. So it's going to give you an insight of me and Jake's life here at the radio station and doing the BTL podcast.
Yeah, go check out the BTL though. Twitter is at BTL891, and then as well as for TikTok, it's Between the Lines 891. It'll be in the description below. Go check it out. Go click it. Go give it a follow. Go share it. Do all the things that you want to do with it. Go ahead. Just hit the follow button at least. Also hit the subscribe button too if you haven't done it.
Subscribe here. It's gonna be somewhere right here.
It's gonna be somewhere, somewhere. But when we talk about sports, I think something that we can never not go without, and it's been so long since we last see them on the field. We thought going into week 1 it was going to be a downfall from the start.
What's crazy?
Yeah,
it was reported. We're talking about the NFL here now. If anybody's just got confused and lost, it's been reported that the Chicago Bears were supposed to have the number 1 pick in this upcoming year's draft. And the way they played...
People were picking all of them pretty much to go 0-17.
The way they played yesterday, which was Sunday, is outstanding. They played in horrible conditions, in the rain, the field being a mess. Like, you can see them run and water splash like it was a flood that happened in your basement. That's how bad that field looked. For a lot of people, they said they cannot wait till that team moves to Arlington Heights, but
yeah, Arlington Heights is around the corner. I can't wait for it.
Super Bowl, I need it.
Super Bowl. It was. First off, this game was ridiculously crazy. Okay, 19-10. It started off with San Francisco leading 7-0 at halftime, and I didn't text you this. I texted my 2 other buddies this. I go, Bears 0-17. This is ridiculous. Offense, terrible. Defense is the only bright spot, but either way, it sucks.
The defense was playing out of their mind. What I completely
forgot was that it was a monsoon, and everybody was just doing bad. Justin Fields was 8 for 17.
He didn't throw the ball a lot. That's crazy.
Not great at all. He had a QBR of 42.
Because look at Trey Lance. He threw the ball for 28 times and he only completed 13 passes.
Yeah, there was duck balls everywhere. There was just terribleness. I don't even know how to other say it. It was just so bad. 105 yards for Justin Fields. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bad. Running the ball. David Montgomery, 17 carries, 26 yards.
Justin Fields, was a tough day all over the place.
28 yards.
It was a tough play. It was a
Khalil
tough day.
Herbert, 9 carries, only bright spot, 45 yards and a touchdown. Myron.
Without that touchdown, I don't think we win this game. So
we don't win this game. This is can't.
This isn't. I don't think this is going to be an every week thing. I just think it was a tough week 1. It was raining, very bad conditions. I think that defense did play out of their mind in that second half.
That's the thing.
They played out of their mind in the first half, getting 2 turnovers early. Mm-hmm. You had a pick and a fumble by Deebo Samuel. So it's like what you're going to get in this defense. This is turning me to what the Bears used to be, the defense of the old with Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, Julius Peppers. Now people are going to be like, don't get too fast and think about it. But I feel like if they continue to dominate like this in that condition, what can they do when it's not raining?
Oh, they could do everything.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks go with the Chicago Bears team. But I don't think they're going to be picking in the top 5 if they continue to play like this.
I don't think they're going to be picking in the top 5 at all. I know a lot of people, that's what everyone was deciding. You know what? This is where they're going to pick at. This is where it's going to be because this is how bad it was. You know, we're looking at a team that's going to have a bunch of rookies being played right now. And I don't know if you saw it. They had 4 rookies from this year. I don't know if you saw it. Second round, Juwan Brisker played every snap. 4 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 forced fumble. This is all, by the way, reported by Field Yates. Shout out to Field Yates for the report.
Shout out to you.
Second round pick, Kyle Gordon. Played every snap, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He did have a penalty on him. He did have a penalty.
First official NFL game.
Left tackle, Braxton Jones.
He has been a bright spot.
Every snap.
He has been a big spot since they drafted him.
We talked all about the offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Terrible, always.
I think the only bad spot of the offensive line yesterday was Sam Mufferford.
Yes.
I think he was the only bad spot because I think everybody else played good. Even with Lucas Patrick only having one hand, he still played well. I think once they get him back to 100% and he can snap the ball, and they figure out who they want to put in the other guard, I think they're going to be totally fine.
I mean, Jenkins played.
Yeah, I feel like
incredible at right guard.
Him and Larry Borom on the same side. It's crazy because Larry Borom wasn't supposed to make this team or make this roster.
No,
but he has played. He's been playing well. I think that they have figured it out up front. That goes to not Ryan Pace, Ryan Poles, who has done a great job after everyone gave him a lot of criticism for letting Khalil Mack go,
and not
Akeem
doing
Hicks,
anything
Allen Robinson
in the offseason and all this other stuff.
But if you think about it and you look at the production numbers, he signed guys who had better production numbers than the guys he let go.
That is very true.
So this is a good thing for this Bears team, but I feel like we should move past those guys just a little bit. I think we should go to that Sunday night matchup with the Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Well, we can't forget about DeMarcus Robinson, the best
rookie. About him.
7 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 2 quarterback hits. He dragged
Trey
Lance down by his shoulder pad. Single-handedly just dragged him to the ground.
That was playing with effort. He played with true effort there. And I think this basically shows that he can draft.
Yes.
Ryan Poles couldn't draft to save his life, and that was just so embarrassing.
Something that Ryan Pace couldn't do.
Couldn't do it at all. Ryan Pace, Kevin White, still will never forget Kevin White not playing a single snap in the Bears uniform.
And he drafted him first round. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But, I mean, those rookies with those bright spots, insane. Great. I think it's
their
exactly
potential. I know potential is a very bad word to say because you haven't done anything yet. But their potential is through the roof right now after game 1.
You think so?
If they can continue to do this through 16 more games.
Week 2, Packers.
Did you see the Packers play the
Did you
Vikings?
see the Packers? Remember the Packers last year against the Saints? Terrible. Week 1, terrible.
It's always bad.
Everyone written them off. Week 2, week 3, week 4, unbelievable. Aaron Rodgers
but realize Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams. He doesn't have Devontae this year. So I don't know what Aaron's going to do. So we're going to see how that Packers team turns out. But I'm not a Packers fan, so I'm done talking about them guys.
But the Bears are playing them week 2. Do you think even with the production?
They play who? Some team up in Wisconsin?
Yeah,
all right,
cool. Some team in Wisconsin. Do you really think they have a chance? Even with the high hopes and the potential and all this stuff,
Aaron Rodgers does not own us.
Okay.
If we continue to allow him to, yes, he does. But I think we do have an opportunity to win this game.
Really?
The scoreboard when you kick off is 0-0. So
very true. A lot of people have been talking about the Bears are only going to get 4 wins, 4 or 5 wins, and then people were like, you know what? This team could shoot for 7.
I can think they can get to 7. At first, I was one of those people like, they're going to win like 4 games. But after watching the first game, I think there's a lot more to this team than we realize.
I think Bears are winning 6 games, and that's it. You said you want to move on to Sunday Night Football. Probably the worst Sunday Night Football I've ever watched in my entire life. Everyone at home, if you were someone that was like, you know what, the Cowboys are a good team.
They're not going to be a good team.
Alone, okay? The entire America, okay? Entire America.
It is. Isn't that America's team? I think we should change that.
Everybody was fooled. They had 3 points, and it was, I think, on the second drive.
Dak Prescott breaks his hand.
Yeah, Dak Prescott broke his hand pretty much. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. The Buccaneers look bad, but then didn't look bad because of how bad the Cowboys were.
Yeah, no, it was tough watching that game. I think after Dak Prescott got hurt, I think I turned it off. I was like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. It's like, this is. But remember, this is what we were talking about with college football. This is the first week of the NFL season. There's going to be bad football play, and there's going to be sloppy penalties. So I don't think this Cowboys team is going to get any better without Dak. Zeke didn't play well. His backup, Tony Pollard, didn't play well.
Zeke didn't play well because he couldn't see out of his mask.
Yeah, that helmet, those new, I don't even know what the helmets are called, but they're really, really weird, and I do not like the way they look.
They look like a Power Rangers. You know, like Dino.
They look like you have a biker helmet on.
A biker helmet. For me, throwback, if you know what this is, the Power Rangers, but it's the Dino Power Rangers. It's the mask that their like vision or whatever, their glass for the helmet goes like all the way back here, where Zeke's helmet was going back. It was ridiculous. But the new helmets, not a fan of.
I'm not a fan of them.
Not a fan of them.
Yeah, I just don't like that. But you also said that you think the Chiefs look better without Tyreek Hill.
Yes, we talked about this. Outside before the podcast, the Chiefs are better. The Chiefs are better without Tyreek Hill. I don't know if you saw what they were doing to them, to the Arizona Cardinals. They were using everybody. And when I say they were using everybody, that means there was guys on their fourth string on the depth chart was almost scoring touchdowns. They were using I think Arizona's
everybody. They're gonna struggle until DeAndre. Didn't you say DeAndre?
D-Hop's got suspended for 6 games. J.J. Watt's injured still because he gets injured
every year.
And his brother's now gonna be in the same boat with the torn
pec. Oh, that's so crazy. Sorry for the Watt family.
Yeah, they don't know how to stay healthy. It's because they train super hard in the offseason.
And you need to relax.
And they don't do that. But they just don't. But the Chiefs looked so dominant in every other way because they knew how to, they didn't have to rely on Tyreek Hill on one side. And it's like, if Tyreek's out there, you know what he's doing. They had all these other. Yeah.
Tariq down there somewhere. Not anymore.
Not anymore. And so they had to figure.
He's playing with Tua. Tua's bad.
Tua can't throw a ball. But the Chiefs found a way to figure out how to get everybody involved and not be one-dimensional with one person on the field. And that's why.
Scary. Like you said, that is scary to see and realize. Because this team has already been dominant the last few years. But if they can play with fourth-string guys and continue to dominate, every team in the league should be on notice.
I mean, first off, Travis Kelce, 8 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, right? That's Travis Kelce things. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2 touchdowns, 32 yards for receiving 3 receptions. McCole Hardman, 3 receptions, 16 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Jody Fortson. Don't know who. That is very, very correct. He is a tight end. He's 26 years old. It is his second season in the league. He has 1 reception for 1 yard for 1 touchdown. They get everybody involved. And Patty Mahomes had 5 passing touchdowns.
Imagine having him as your fantasy quarterback.
Don't talk to me about fantasy.
Actually, I have to hope that my team wins tonight too. So we'll see how that goes.
Here, but any other game that you want to mention other
Who
than
plays
the
tonight?
Broncos and Seahawks?
Who do you have?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
I can't do that for you. I'm gonna go Geno Smith and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Over Russell Wilson?
Yes.
And Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutherland?
Yes. Hey, we don't have to agree on everything, and I hope you all don't take I'm a hot take. I just want to let you know it's a hot take. Stephen A. Smith, hot take. Shannon Sharp, hot take.
Did you see Stephen Smith's hot take?
Raider thing?
No, the Chargers Raider thing.
Is he okay? He think he could do. I don't even want to go there. But soap operas has changed his life.
If you haven't seen it yet, he goes, the Chargers are not going to win this football game. The Raiders are going to win.
But then said they're going to score the most points.
But
in the game.
Chargers are going to score the most points in the game. This don't make any sense. I hope you don't get that too hot take. All right.
No, I'm never going to lose my mind mid segment. I hope not.
Why are there ties in football?
That's crazy. The first game
You're a
of the
football
year,
player. Why are there ties in football?
because sometimes both teams are just not good enough to win game. That's literally it. Because in the playoffs, you don't get over. You go into overtime until someone wins.
Yep.
I don't know.
Why is there ties in the regular season?
That's a participation trophy.
I don't
That's
like
what that.
participation
I
trophies.
think a tie in the regular NFL season is a participation trophy. Like, oh, we went out there and played each other, but no one won, so we don't care.
I mean, the Colts, by the way, should not have won that game. Sorry, Colts fans out there, should not have won that game.
They didn't win.
They didn't win.
Neither team won.
But the Texans deserve to win more. They scored 10 points in the second quarter, 10 points in the third quarter. Davis Mills looked very good.
I'm glad they went with him.
Well, I wouldn't say very good, but still pretty good. Was 23 for 37 with 2 touchdowns and 240 yards, 240 yards. Matt Ryan was 32 for 50. They threw for 50 times. But also, Jonathan Taylor had 31 carries.
That's 81 snaps.
Yes.
Between 2 people.
Yeah.
Y'all got to figure it out.
Colts got to figure it out. 31 carries for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to have 800 carries by the end of the season and be injured for sure.
He's going to look like Derrick Henry around here.
Yes, 161 yards and a touchdown. Great.
Actually, I think he's going to look like Christian McCaffrey because Christian McCaffrey is just washed.
He can't.
He had 33 yards.
Yeah.
He needs to be wrapped.
I really apologize to everyone who had them for fantasy because it was just real
Alvin
bad.
Kamara.
Terrible.
Jonathan Taylor did okay. Derrick Henry, terrible. Who was it was 2 more running backs that it was like
Aaron Jones.
Terrible.
Trust me, I have Aaron Jones.
Joe Mixon, he did all right.
He did all right.
It was just a bad week for a lot of people. So I think we're gonna leave those people alone. But I think we should get into awards. So who's gonna be your league MVP?
Yeah, we usually always make predictions and picks when it comes to Between the Lines. We love making picks. Week 1, we decided not to make any picks yet.
No, yeah, we were still trying to figure the podcast out. So
I
think with us figuring it out now, I think we can make our picks.
Yeah, we'll make week 2 picks coming up here in a little bit. We'll write it down and stuff like that.
And then we're going to put it up here on the screen for you all to see. And it's going to be quick, fast, in a hurry. I think that'll be a little more efficient. So you all can just see our picks and then just debate on how things look for you all from our standpoint.
But for awards, okay? For awards, Myron.
I'm listening.
MVP. Now, hear me out on my MVP, okay?
Please
a lot of people said, huh?
Please don't be nobody crazy.
No. A lot of people said that this man was crazy for the amount of money he turned down. This man also, everyone says, is going to be injured at some point this season.
I hope not, because if it's who I think you are, I have him as my fantasy quarterback.
I have him as my fantasy quarterback, so probably not the same league that we're in, but he's my fantasy quarterback. It's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I have him as my quarterback. I hope he's not hurt, but the money
in
he
our
turned
league,
down,
the league that we're in, I have Lamar as our quarterback.
I think I have Kyler as my quarterback.
So I got Lamar Jackson. He's going to win a second MVP, and he's going to get paid $500 million. Okay.
They're going to franchise tag him. They're not going to pay him.
No, he's going to get paid $8 billion. All right.
I hope he does.
Who's your MVP, Myron?
Ooh. I think I'm going to take a long shot here.
Okay.
He's the oldest man to ever start a football game. And I know that he has a lot going on in his life with his wife and different things.
This is last year, reportedly, according to Ian Rappaport.
Tom Brady will be this year's MVP because last year they screwed him over.
Okay. TB12 for you. Lamar Jackson for myself.
Defensive player of the year?
Defense player of the year?
Aaron Donald.
Oh, I was going to go Myles Garrett.
No. Well, okay. But Aaron Donald. He's been the defensive player of the year like the last 3 years in a row.
Very true. Very true. But I think it's going to be Myles Garrett.
That's a good choice.
I think he's on a revenge tour.
Offensive player of the year?
Offensive player of the year, Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh.
Jonathan Taylor. He's going to carry the Colts. JT is going to carry the Colts. I mean, you talk about 31 carries for 161 yards and a touchdown. I know they tied, but still, he's going to carry the Colts.
I'm going receiver.
Okay, who?
Jamar Chase.
Oh, really? Why? Explain this one, please.
Did you not see him play versus the Steelers?
I understand that.
He had him a day.
But Jay Jets had a day, too.
Okay, I could have went with him too, but I feel like when Joe Burrow gets back into his bag, he's gonna have a better year than Kirk Cousins.
Very true. Okay, can we talk about the hot takes for Kirk Cousins?
Think about it, because last year, the Bengals were in this same predicament. Last year, they were playing bad. The Bears beat them. They played absolutely terrible, and then later on, they caught fire.
So you're saying they will catch fire again? Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I should give you probably the odds for these.
Yeah, give me the top 3 guys.
You got Drake London
from
Jahad Dotson,
Atlanta,
from the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Chris Olave,
wide receiver for the Jets.
Jets, really? Jets. Okay.
Chris Olave? No, they drafted Chris Wilson.
Mm-hmm. George Pickens, Kenny Pickett. I think if I was good,
That's hard.
This is such a weird class to determine who you think is going to be Rookie of the Year. If I had to pick anybody, I think it's going to be Jahan Dotson.
I'm gonna go
Jahan Dotson.
I'm gonna go receiver, but I'm gonna go with I'm not gonna go the dude from Atlanta.
Okay, you're not gonna go Drake London.
No, what's the other receiver you said?
George Pickens.
Oh no,
you had that one. Chris Olave.
Chris Olave, yeah.
You're gonna go Chris Olave. Okay, good pick. Defensive Rookie of the Year though, this one's gonna be even better. I feel like.
Let's see.
Trayvon Walker. He's at plus 550. By the way.
How did he do?
He did actually pretty good. He had a sack. He had a pretty good sack. He had a couple of quarterback hurries as well. Aiden Hutchinson.
I don't think Aiden's gonna be too.
Really?
He's too short.
Plus 600 for him, so he's in second right now. Kayvon Thibodeau. Plus
didn't he get hurt?
Yes, he did. I believe he's playing. I believe he got hurt, but I believe he might be back in the season.
Okay.
Derek Stingley Jr. plus 1,000. Ahmad Gardner. Sauce Gardner plus 1,000. Kyle Hamilton plus 1,200. And then a bunch of other guys. I'm gonna go with. Do I pick a bear?
You say you're going a long shot?
Pick a bear.
You're going to long shot and pick a bear? That's different. That's a hot take.
Juwan Brisker is plus 3,300, and Kyle Gordon is plus 3,300.
If either one of them wins, that's outstanding.
I think, okay, to be a safe pick, I'm going to go with Aiden Hutchinson.
You and being a safe guy.
I got to go with the safe pick, man.
The guy that I'm going to go here with is he's not going to win because his team is very bad. And you're sitting here thinking, like, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Sauce. Ahmad Gardner. He's not going to win it because the Jets are a terrible football team.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
He's going to do his part as a football player. So.
Okay. Next up, Coach of the Year.
Mike Tomlin.
Really?
Mike Tomlin.
Can you explain to me why?
He bought the whole Steelers entire team, including the coaching staff, black Air Force Ones. That's the energy I like to see.
He is right now, Mike Tomlin.
Where is he?
Plus 2,500 yards.
That's okay.
I'm going to go with Coach of the Year. I'm going to go with Brandon Staley instead. I'm going to do that as my Coach of the Year.
The dude from the Chargers?
Yeah, I'm going to do that as my Coach of the Year. Chargers are also my pick to win the Super Bowl, so keep that in mind.
That's a good pick.
It is a good pick. I'm going to go with Brandon Staley. I decided to switch it up. Technical difficulties kind of helped us. So
you like it. I'm still going Mike Tomlin.
You're going to go Mike Tomlin.
Super Bowl winners here?
I think it's going to be comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year.
Yes.
Who's the odds for this? I wouldn't know.
Well, you got the guys like, you had, whatchamacallit?
Who? Give me some names.
The dude who literally just got injured.
TJ?
No, Dak.
Dak
was there, but not anymore.
Well, that's out of the window for him.
Not out of the window for him.
Just a tug.
I know Baker is up there.
I don't even think he played that well in his first game versus his old team.
No, he did not play well at all. So look at Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston's my pick.
Really?
You only got to say nobody else.
I don't got to say anybody else but Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Fine. All right. Yeah, Michael Thomas at plus 550. Jameis Winston was plus 500.
Slant, man.
Saquon Barkley plus 550.
Injury prone.
Derrick Henry plus 650.
Only can run vertical.
Christian McCaffrey plus 650.
Bubble wrap.
Baker Mayfield plus 900.
Beer belly.
You want to get this one. Now, I want your thoughts on this one. Brian Robinson Jr.
Who?
He is a rookie. And you know why he's on this list?
Why?
It's because he got shot.
Stop playing with guns.
I'm not.
No, take that out. Please delete that.
I'm not. He's on the list, and he's a rookie that got shot.
That's terrible. I think that is about as worse as the NFL draft when they pull up stats and like, oh, lost his dad at 12 to gun violence. Why do I need to know? Or, oh, been living homeless since he was 6. Like, I don't need, why? Like, why do we give those stats away about these players? Like, I don't think that should be okay.
He has a chance to return in week number 5.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
So I think I'm going to go first off. I'm going to go Saquon Barkley after week 1. Definitely going to go Saquon. Super Bowl.
Oh, Buffalo Bills.
You're going to go Bills?
Did you not see them embarrass the last year's Super Bowl champions?
I have been saying this, and I've been trying to get it into the universe. Chargers. Don't play with me. Chargers.
You can't even get a Bills Chargers Super Bowl.
Chargers. You can't.
They're going to be
it's going to be the AFC Championship game. It's going to be the AFC Championship game.
I agree with you on that.
Division winners. Division winners. I don't know where you want to start with. You want to start at the East?
Yeah. Go ahead.
AFC East.
I need to pull up this.
It's literally your Super Bowl pick.
Oh, the Bills.
The Bills. I'm going Bills as well. NFC East.
Is that the Eagles, Cowboys?
Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins. Oh, Commanders.
Commanders. Eagles.
Perfect. Commanders. You going Eagles?
Yes.
My original pick was Cowboys.
No, not anymore.
But I got to stick with the Cowboys. I've already made my picks. I've made my picks in certain locations. I am 22.
Are you cheating, huh?
Huh?
You're cheating, huh?
I'm not cheating.
Yeah, you are. No, I'm just messing with you.
Nope. I made my picks.
Where are we going?
AFC North.
AFC North.
Give me
Ravens.
Yep, give me the Ravens. I got Ravens just because Lamar is winning MVP. And NFC North.
Bears.
No. Stop. Don't even to me. You're being 100% honest.
Yes.
No
I'm gonna take a long shot. That's a hot take.
No
take a long shot. Taking a long shot.
I'm not even gonna put it down. I don't believe you. You really want the Bears to be your pick?
Nah, go ahead and put Green Bay.
Really? Did I just convince you to change your pick?
I just thought long term.
Long term? All right. Green Bay is gonna be your pick. I'm going Vikings. I'm going Vikings for my pick.
Where we going next?
NFC South.
NFC South?
Yep.
You threw me off there.
Bucks.
Nice choice, but I'm gonna go famous Jameis. The Saints.
New York Saints comeback player.
Even though I got Tom Brady winning MVP.
Yeah, that's what I say.
But listen. Famous Jameis is gonna do his job and go play great football. But Tom Brady is just gonna have a better year, but they're gonna struggle still.
AFC South. Colts.
AFC South.
Colts for me. Titans for you.
Derrick Henry's gonna get it together.
They lost to the Giants. Just want to clarify that.
It's okay.
NFC West. Actually, you know what? NFC West. These are the two hardest divisions in football. NFC West and the AFC West.
Rams.
You got the Rams.
Yes.
Part of me wants to go Rams. Part of me wants to go 49ers. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go Rams.
I think the
AFC
AFC
West.
West is the hardest division here.
AFC West Chargers for me because I have them winning the Super Bowl.
You can go really any of these teams can win this division.
You have probably the greatest division that you're probably going to ever see in so long. Even better than when the NFC West was so good.
I'm going to go.
Or NFC West was so good.
I'm going to look this camera right here.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to go with Chiefs. Not the Raiders. Even though they got Devontae, but I'm going with Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is threw for 5 touchdowns. Very true.
44 points?
44 points.
Needs it.
It was ridiculous. Looking at week 2, we already said Packers, Bears. Who do you have?
Bears.
Thank you. Don't play with us. It's Bears football. They're probably going to lose, but we're going to pick them.
I'm going to go with the Bears anytime you give me the opportunity to. I know I'm going to lose 95% of the time.
Chiefs, Chargers, Thursday.
Chiefs.
Chargers.
Okay, that's fine. Keep going.
Jets, Browns.
Browns.
You got the Browns? I got the Browns too.
Yeah.
Commanders,
you just
Lions.
question me?
Yeah, I did. I did question
Did you want me to say the Chiefs? So you think Zach Wilson's going to throw all over them? No.
Zach Wilson's not even playing. It's Joe Flacco.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the elite Joe Flacco.
Ooh, Joe Flacco ain't played in like 30 years.
Commanders, Lions.
Lions. I'm taking this one. I think the Lions is a good football team if it wasn't for Jared Goff.
Very true. I'm going to have to go Washington.
Their defense is good too.
I'm going to have to go Washington. Bucks, Saints. I'm going
Bucks.
I'm going Saints.
I like Famous Jameis, but I'm going to go TB12.
I'm going to go Saints. I don't want TB12 to win. Panthers, Giants.
Giants.
Give me Giants.
Baker Mayfield starting at quarterback. You're gonna have a long day.
Really? All right. Patriots, Steelers.
Steelers.
I'll go Steelers. Even with
Mr. Trubisky?
No, you know what?
He got it. Hey,
Do I go Patriots?
look, both of Matt Nagy's old quarterbacks are undefeated without him. So hey.
I'm gonna go Steelers. Colts, Jaguars. Give me Colts.
Colts.
Dolphins, Ravens.
Ravens. Lamar.
Falcons, Rams. Seahawks, 49ers. We have yet to see the Seahawks yet.
49ers.
We've seen the 49ers.
If
49ers, by the
Jimmy
way, are
Garoppolo
favored
plays.
by 8.5 points right now.
If they play like they did against the Bears, they're not going to win this game.
I'm gonna go 49ers
49ers.
because I believe George Kittle's going to be back for that game. Bengals, Cowboys.
Bengals, because Joe Burrow's going to have a bounce back game.
You know, if Cowboys didn't have Dak, if they had Dak Prescott, I would go Cowboys, but they don't, so I'm going to go Bengals. Texans, Broncos.
Tie game.
I'm going tie game again. I'm going to go Texans and Lovie Smith's return for a victory.
Tie game.
Okay. And we'll figure out a way to put that on.
I'm going to go Broncos.
Cardinals, Raiders.
Cardinals or the Raiders?
Yep.
Raiders.
We have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football.
Who's the 4 teams?
It's Titans, Bills, first game.
Oh, Bills.
Vikings, Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm going Vikings. Jay Jets is going to have a game.
Jalen Hurts is going to have a game.
Very true. That was our NFL picks. We do that really fast. I hope that this was a good first episode.
I hope so too. I continue.
I have high hopes.
I didn't mean to yell in your ear if you're listening to this in the headphones, but I hope you did enjoy our first official podcast for BTL, which is Between the Lines. Jake, I'd like to say thank you so we can continue to have this going.
No problem.
I can't wait to see next week's show and our special guest.
Yes, we will have a guest on. It is going to either be a baseball player or a football player. Don't know which one yet.
Can't tell you that.
Can't tell you that one because we're still in talks with people. But we will have kind of regular guests to come on here. We will have that. More people from the sports department here. You're going to see new faces, new takes on everything. When it comes to guests and stuff like that, we'll have guest picks. We'll see how we match up against the guest picker in when it comes to football games and college football games and all that other stuff. And when it comes to MLB playoffs, we'll have a whole show dedicated to that. We'll have a whole show dedicated to the NBA season when it comes out. Me and Myron probably going to the Bulls game. You're gonna see that on
Can't wait.
TikTok and Twitter. Hopefully we can go to, if tickets get low enough because the Bears are so bad, maybe a Bears game later on. Probably not, but
if it's cold outside, those tickets
it is
typically
cold.
be cold.
It is going to be super cold, and I'm not going to go. But we might see a Bulls game.
I'm gonna get him to go. Don't worry.
We're going to see a Bulls game together. So you're going to see that on TikTok and Twitter. Look forward to that. Look forward to some special, fun little segments that we do around the station with sports and everything like that. Let us know in the comments what you guys want us to do, what kind of things you want us to talk about, kind of focus on. Let us know the feedback. We will listen. We will read every comment that we get.
Help us get better.
Help us get better, because this is for you. This show is for you, the listeners. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Myron? I know around our social, description for, by the way, all social media.
All social media will be in description.
Description. Anything else, Myron?
No, but it has been a great first podcast, Jake. So can I close it out?
Go ahead.
And we're out of here.